Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to look at different runway required distances. So let's get started. So before going into the various required distances, we look at a term known as critical engine. So we have an aircraft here. Both the propellers of this aircraft are rotating in the same direction, as a result of which the distance that you see here, which is the distance between the center of thrust and center line of fuselage, this distance is lesser on the left hand side and it is more on the right hand side. So if you see the yawing moment, which is the product of force and distance, the force in this case being your thrust force and the distance are these distances that you see here. So if we consider the right engine to fail, for example due to some reason, the yawing moment here will be 0 due to the thrust force being 0. You will still have some yawing moment here, as a result of which the aircraft will yaw to the right. Okay, so for example this engine fails due to some reason, the yawing moment here will be 0, but you will have still yawing moment here and the aircraft will yaw to the left. Okay, so if we see that in case this engine fails, the yawing moment here is lesser, and in case this engine fails, the yawing moment here is greater. So critical engine is that engine whose failure gives you the greatest yawing moment. So critical engine in this case is this engine. Critical engine is also identified by its center of thrust lying closest to the center line of fuselage. So critical engine is a problem only if your propellers are rotating in the same direction. So to solve this problem, most of the modern airliners have counter rotating propellers. That means the distances on both the sides would be the same, and in case any of the engines fail, your yawing moment would still be the same, and hence there won't be any critical engine. So before starting our required distances video, I hope you have seen my declared distances video. If not, you can go and see that in my I button here. So see that, understand the concepts and come back here. Okay. So let us start with required distances. So the first distance is takeoff distance required. It is less than or equal to your takeoff distance available. So your required distances must always be lesser than what is available, right? So there are two possibilities here. There could be an engine failure or it could be a normal flight. Okay, so first we'll consider that there was a critical engine failure during takeoff. So your takeoff distance required in that case would be the distance from the start of the takeoff run till the aircraft reaches the screen height at speed V2. So your engine failure takeoff distance required would be AC. Okay, and if there is no engine failure, everything goes normal, in that case it is the same distance multiplied by 1.15. so basically it is 115% of this distance if there is no engine failure. So next is takeoff run required. It is less than or equal to takeoff run available. So in case there is a critical engine failure, your takeoff run required is from the start of the takeoff run till the midpoint between the point of liftoff and the screen height at speed V2. Okay, so that is your engine failure takeoff run required. It is AD, and in case there is no engine failure, it is the same distance multiplied by 1.15. Okay, just to be clear, this is the midpoint between the point of liftoff and your screen height at V2. So now we are going to do ASDR, which is acceleration stop distance required. It is again less than or equal to acceleration stop distance available. So in this case there is only one possibility. because the engine failure is happening before you reach V1. So before V1 we had done, if there is an engine failure, we will abort the takeoff. Okay, so your acceleration stop distance required is AD. Okay, one thing to remember is the aircraft must retard. Okay, that means it must decrease the speed with all available means of retardation, but without the use of reverse thrust. Okay, so even without the use of reverse thrust, the aircraft must be able to stop before the end of ASDR. Okay, so that is it regarding this. So there is one more small thing, which is your balance field length. So generally what happens is your takeoff distance required is greater than acceleration stop distance required. But if we increase the ASDR till the point where both are equal, what you're essentially doing is you are providing the aircraft more distance to stop in case there is an abandoned takeoff. Okay, so when you have a balanced field length, basically it means that the runway safety is being increased. So we have come to the last required distance, which is the landing distance required. It is again less than or equal to the landing distance available. So in the dry conditions, the landing distance required is 1.67 times the distance from the threshold at the speed Vref till the aircraft comes to a complete stop. That is in dry conditions. In wet conditions, you have to add a 15% safety factor, which comes to about 1.92. So the landing distance required in wet conditions is 1.92 multiplied by this same distance, which is AB. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any doubts or queries, you can put it down in the comments below. I'll answer them, or you can even DM me on Instagram. So see you guys in the next video.